Because I don't think it's so much of the aesthetic of emo rap, but it's the overall message, and that these kids out here right now, they feel a little lost.
I hate emo rap because it promotes depression, it promotes self-mutilation, it promotes suicide and depression, and it targets teenagers who are very impressionable, and it's just, there's no place for that.
I love emo rap because not only does it talk on those things that you just named, but it gives outlets to the youth. I mean, right now, they're being bullied in social media, and it's giving an outlet to discuss those things like depression, suicide, and other things like that.
Don't you think that if the youth really do have those issues, that they should be finding answers to other places other than the music? Because if we start using the music as like a moral compass for the youth, then that's a really, really dark path that they could go down.
Dude, this is hip hop. Hip hop has always been for the youth. It has always been rebel music. It has always going against the current main flow. And right now, what's going to reach the kids? Their parents? Come on now, we all been teenagers. Music helps influence and it helps lead. So you can't be mad at what their choice. Matter of fact, we should listen to what the kids are saying. They're listening to it for a reason.
No, that's funny you said the music helps lead. If the music is about depression, mutilation, and suicide, isn't that where it's leading them? Isn't that what you said?
Actually, no. It's about depression because it's telling them how to cope with things. Like, think about it right now. Kids are killing themselves off social media. Friends are dying. XXXTentacion had a song called Jocelyn, where it deals with the feelings of how to go through with someone your friend's dying.
Triple X also had a song called Sad. The song is about dealing with depression, and suicide is a lyric in the song where he's talking about that. So if you're a kid and you really are going through something and you listen to that, that's gonna lead you down a path of a really, really dark way. And they should go to different outlets if they really are suffering from depression and having suicidal thoughts other than the music.
Well, I feel you going another way, but from what you may hear as depression, they might hear as an olive branch being extended to them. And actually, I like emo rap because it includes different elements from different genres of music, along with electronic, emo, as well as it gives you the trap boom bap that everyone seems to love.
What if these artists, it's a cry for help, and everyone's ignoring their cry for help because they're putting out good music? I agree. A lot of the emo rap does have good beats.
Yeah.
And that's what lures people in at first. That's how I got lured in. And I listened to Sad and his album, and I liked it. But then I listened to it more. I said, yo, I don't know if I feel comfortable listening to a song about someone's cry for help. Like, I can't vibe to a song about somebody talking about killing himself. So.
Understanding, but emo rap isn't a new phenomenon. It's something that's been happening since Kanye and Kid Cudi came out. Matter of fact, Kanye West's whole album, 808 and Heartbreaks, had emo undertones from Welcome to Heartbreak, Heartless, and other songs on top of it. So is it the message you're mad about or not agreeing with, or the style of how they're doing it?
I think it's a good message to put out, but I just don't like that it's promoting that. It is a good message. All that stuff is very real, right? Wayne, about 10 years ago, did a song called I Feel Like Dying, and he's had seizures after that. So because he's a great rapper and a good artist and makes great music, people ignore the fact that, you know, he literally made a song that said, I feel like dying. And these other artists, it's a cry for help. Cudi himself suffered from depression.
True, but for these artists that suffer due to depressions or feel like dying, they use the art as a way to escape those mediums. Because even Logic, who everyone credits as one of the most lyrical MCs in the game, he had a whole song dedicated to Suicide Prevention Hotline, and it ended up not only raising the conversation of suicide awareness, but it also made people feel that much closer to him now that he's able to sell all his concerts. So I don't know, I like emo raps and the creativity that comes behind it, because it's not even with the music, but also the fashion and the music videos that we see.
You said something also earlier about the style of emo rap, and a part of that, I think, is away from the depression and suicide, and it gets into like the drugs and the self-mutilation. You hear a lot of old school rappers talk about the current state of hip hop and they don't say emo rap, but they say we glorify a drug user culture. It's like, there's all these people that are drug users. You hear rappers say, when we was growing up, we wanted to be the hustlers, we wanted to be the dope boys, we wanted to do this, we wanted to do that. Now we're glorifying the drugs, using it and abusing it. I mean, there was a rapper, Lil Peep, that died from a Xan overdose in 2017, in November. So it's like, all the people ignore this cry for help, and because that's a part of the drug use is a part of.
Sorry. Drug use in hip hop has always been a thing. You can't complain about it now. I mean, come on, Dr. Dre had an album called The Chronic. What's that about? And actually, the first rapper to ever grace the mic was a coke dealer. So can't really trip too much on the drugs. But as far as what other things that emo contributes to, without Kid Cudi coming in and changing up the style of the game, we went in and got a Kanye West album, Kids See Ghosts, that we received earlier, as well as even Tyler the Creator. He came out metal emo. Like, it was hard, but it was still on some suicide type stuff. But you see how his sound has also contributed into fashion with his Golf Wayne enterprise, and also going into skits. So it's kind of like emo artists, because they branch off from so many different music and they're able to influence so many things, they're able to create and give more content to better help the people.
What are they doing in the streets that's actually helping people, opposed to making music that is drug abuse? Chronic is weed. Like, nobody's ODing and dying off weed. It's the bars that they're rapping about, the Xans, the lean, the Percocets, all of that stuff. A coke dealer is different from a coke head. It's like coke head music. It's drugged up music. It's music like that that's feeding into the minds. Yes, like I said earlier, they get attracted to it at first because it's fun music. Then they start to live those lifestyles, which again happens a lot in hip hop, when it promotes a lifestyle that is detriment to the person and their health. Especially because it targets young people, like teenagers, stuff like that. 60% of which are young men. It's never good for the culture.
All right, I feel you on that. But that was the early genre of emo rap, and this genre is still relatively fresh. But since Lil Peep's death, and unfortunately since XXXTentacion's murder, the rappers within emo rap have taken a whole new way. Lil Xan right now screams "fuck Xanax" at the end of his concerts or in between his concerts.
His name is Lil Xan. If you really are about promoting Xan awareness and not using drugs, why is your name Lil Xan? Would you listen to someone that told you not to abuse alcohol if their name was Lil Hennessy? You wouldn't. So why is Lil Xan telling me not to use Xans? His name is Lil Xan. That's in his name. That doesn't make sense to me.
Well, just to be fair, hip hop is rebel music. Everything about hip hop culture is to rebel against the norms. So to go back to why would you name yourself Lil Xan? Well, maybe naming yourself to a drug, narcotic is a way of saying that, hey, we're all sleeping. Maybe that's what he's trying to say in his message, more so than that, rather than tell people to do drugs. Because if you heard Trippie Redd's new album, Life's a Trip, he clearly diverts his message away from doing drugs, and more so about how to deal with heartbreak, how to deal with betrayal, how to deal with losing your friends, or how he even have a song on there called Missing My Idols, which talks about, losing his friends or the people that he once looked up to, not meeting to his expectations. So in the beginning, yeah, it was about drugs. But now, since the 2 deaths that recently occurred, the people that are currently in emo rap see their position. And I think they're doing a better job of just shaping what the overall message is and how they're going to better help people through their audio.
So it seems like what you're saying is that people now see the effects of the music and how the message they were putting out had a negative impact, one of the deaths and a bunch of people ODing, and now they're changing their music, the message that promotes awareness. It's that if you're gonna glorify it, then know that your words have power. Not only should you not glorify it, or if that's what you're gonna do, then rap about or sing about or whatever, make music about a lifestyle you used to live. Hip hop artists, when they rap about being in the streets and stuff like that, they're not still doing that stuff. If the music talks currently about them doing all this crazy stuff, then that's what people are gonna gravitate to. That's what they're gonna like. Because the authenticness in it, which is sometimes not always the best thing for people that are young and impressionable.
I totally understand, but the same problems that you just listed right now is the same problems hip hop used to have in the beginning, in the 80s, and with gangster rap when it first came to the scene. It was seen so violent and people were mimicking that that a group of MCs had to get together and NWA had to drop Express Yourself. But you gotta remember, they're kids. They don't know what they're really doing. But I think given time, you have to allow them to see their growth and allow them to grow and then judge them off that.
In the meantime, while they're growing, is it right for people to support them if they're making music like that rather than find a way that they could be helped? When I listen to music that promotes stuff like that, I feel weird and uncomfortable because I'm like, am I feeding into their habit because I'm giving them streams, you know what I'm saying? Because I'm looking up a YouTube video, and am I solving a problem or am I helping that? And I think if more people thought like that, then more music would change. They would still make dope music, but you would see a change. It's exploiting people for their talents. And that's always wrong. It's like, it's culture vulturism. It's emo vulturism.
True, but if they were being vultures, I don't think they would be able to pull off the type of melodies that they have. And they wouldn't be able to draw the type of fan base that emo rap is getting right now. Because I don't think it's so much of the aesthetic of emo rap, but it's the overall message in that these kids out here right now, they feel a little lost. And these guys screaming and singing in rock and roll forms and spinning some boom bap beats, they're the ones reaching them. So I think it's more so what's going on in these kids' lives that makes them feel they need this emo rap culture in their lives.
I hate emo rap because, as I said earlier, it promotes depression, suicide, and self-mutilation and drug abuse. And the music should be looked at as a cry for help from these artists, and their music should transition from that currently to promoting awareness, how to better yourself if you are going through that. Because if it continues to promote messages like that, kids are going to continue to follow it, and it can go down a path of no return where you have everybody thinking they're depressed and they need drugs and all of that stuff, which is never the right solution to that.
I love emo rap because it's electro soul over boom bap beats and gives me the trap funk that I need to drive around and connect with my day. I think it's a genre that's here to stay and it's going to evolve in a better way. Hip hop isn't this little baby that everyone sees it. Hip hop was a big bang explosion of sound waves and we're just caught up in the aftershock. And I look forward to seeing where emo rap takes us.
Well, I guess we agree to disagree.
Player.
What up, squad? I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, you can hit the subscribe button. You can also follow us on Twitter and Instagram by clicking the links below. Until next time, thanks for watching All Def Music.